Welcome back to another episode of Good News Weekly. My name is Jay Griff. It's Pastor Luke. And boy, we got something for y'all today.
We're gonna wade in the deep end. This is like one of the things that's been talked about a lot in culture lately. Is this special, the last in the Netflix series from Dave Chappelle?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what I think is there's so many facets to the story, which I think is interesting. So many of the things that have happened over the last few years kind of layer this. It's black against white people. It's red against blue people. And this one has this kind of dimensions to it that I think makes it interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe just say it this way. As a Christian, how do you like take in and process both a piece of content, like some of the things that he talks about, but also this sort of cultural discussion around it?
I think he said something in the special that was key. He said that empathy has to go both ways. Yeah. And that's what I gathered from the whole special. I have family that's in that community that he spoke about. And, I just think it was fair. What he said, a lot of it was hard to hear, obviously, from both sides. But I don't know, man. I just feel like we're at a point. Can I just be honest? We're on Good News Weekly, right?
Yeah, please.
I just feel like we're at a point where you can't really criticize or say anything, or even that's a whole comedian. He literally writes jokes for a living, and people are trying to cancel him. And I just think that's trash, man. Like, as a pastor, if you got to preach a hard sermon, what are we supposed to do? Like, sorry, this is.
Well, I think what we see so often now, right, is that we were laughing that the person who's in the room with us right now helping us record this was saying that they had listened to a podcast about the special, but it was on their list and they hadn't watched it yet.
Right.
And I think that so much of what we get into, and this person was not doing this, but what we do so often is everything that happens in the world, we sort of like label it and put it into our canon.
Yes.
And shoot it out as a cannonball against the other team that we think we're fighting against without even really like trying to decide what's true, what's not, what's helpful, what's not, like all that stuff. It's like all these people who would hate Dave Chappelle's views on race are now loving him because it's perceived he's speaking out against trans or something.
Right.
And it's like, well, no, like
he's not speaking out against
people are what matter.
Exactly.
Not like this imaginary culture war.
Right.
That no one's going to win, by the way.
We are going to lose. And because at the end of the day, freedom of speech is not really freedom of speech if you can hurt someone's feelings. And that's another point of the special he was making. Because if he can't speak out, but y'all can speak out, then I don't get it. Like nobody wins. You know what I mean? So it's very interesting. I'd encourage people to check it out and have some conversations with yourself and with others around you that may be in that community, because everybody got a different view on it.
I also think, for what it's worth, we as Christians should be really, really mindful that this idea that there is some things that shouldn't be said because they're not safe. It's coming for Christians.
That's right. Absolutely.
It's coming for Christians.
Absolutely.
Christians should not be book burning. Christians should not be trying to close things down. Christians should not be like, I'm as anti-evil things as the next person.
That's right.
But this idea that we're going to control society into health, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And so we should be at all turns, we should be pro, I think, the idea that all speech, all ideas are something that should be judged in the public square for whether they're true or not.
I agree.
And we need to all teach each other and teach the people around us to say, no, like, sure, words can hurt.
Right, absolutely.
But like, you know what else hurt?
What's that?
Dying on the cross for the sins of the world.
Come on, Luke. Come on.
And we can like get over the thing.
Right.
If we choose to. So it bugs me when we fall into this pattern of so easily punishing ideas that we don't like.
Or
instead of, what's the best way to defeat an idea you don't like?
What's that?
Have a better idea.
There you go. And I don't know. It's crazy to me, bro, that people feel some type of way about this, but other things that we'll probably get into in another Good News Weekly is accepted and celebrated, and it's okay. But I don't know. Y'all judge.
This is good.
I'm upset.
Thanks, guys.